It's not that you've got a technique problem, it's you've got a tension problem. The way to reduce tension is to reduce expectations. On a round of golf, on a par four, you're meant to get on the green in two. If you're a scratch golfer, do you know what I mean? Which
Yeah.
is one of 1% in America, in the world, right?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we got a special one. If you recall one of my previous videos, I tested out something called the scoring method. It is a course management system designed to help you shoot lower scores and hopefully eliminate doubles and triple bogeys from your scorecard forever. Well, I don't know what it is about being on camera playing, but I tried not once, but twice to implement the scoring method and shoot really good scores on camera, and it didn't go so well. So today I'm joined by none other than the creator of the scoring method himself, Will Robbins, to go through one of my most recent rounds on film, and he's gonna give me feedback on what I could have done better. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can hype this video as well to push it out to other people. Also, real quick before we get into the video, shout out to Trademark Golf on Instagram. I've linked them down in the description. This hat and this quarter zip pullover was sent to me from them. Shout out to them. If you're looking for some affordable golf gear to add to your wardrobe, check them out down in the description. All right, enough pitter patter chitter chatter. Let's enjoy some time in the company of Will Robbins.
Oh yeah, Cameron, great to have you on the show, mate. And I mean, first and foremost, way to go. I love content creators. I love when I get something where I see someone who's actually gone out there, filmed it, put it on the golf course. And again, that's why I'm glad to be on a call with you today and sort of give you some insights into what I saw and help you with your golf game. And obviously some of your subscribers and viewers to sort of understand, like, how do they eliminate blow up holes? Because I think that's the biggest thing that's missed in golf instruction, is that most people are working on swings to hit more fairways and hit more greens. But guess what? You're going to miss fairways and you're going to miss greens and you're going to have bad shots. But how can you turn a 7 into a 5? How can you turn an 8 into a 6? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's really the whole concept behind the scoring method. It's a very simple system. It's just not easy to follow because guess what? We're golfers and we want to play aggressive and want to make birdies and things like that. So, no, it was a lot of fun to get to watch you play and looking forward to talking about it today.
Yeah. So I guess my first question is for me personally as a content creator, I don't know what it is, but anytime I have the tripod with me on the course and I hit record, it's almost like I go from a 10 handicap to a 30 handicap because I've implemented your scoring method off camera. And every time I've implemented it off camera, like today, I went and played around today. I shot 86. Sure, I was clanking it around and, spraying it everywhere. I still had that mentality of get it in the scoring zone. And when you're in the scoring zone, get it down in 3. And it helped me manage things.
When I'm out coaching on the golf course, especially if I take good players out and I'm at a tough golf course and I'm on the course coaching, my focus isn't there as well. And so I'll make errors and hit bad shots because it does take focus. And to watch you have to, basically you've got groups behind you and you're taking one camera and you're getting out there and setting up on the tripod and hitting the shot. So the first concept that the scoring method really teaches is this idea that 99% of people will say, I have a technique problem. I slice it too much, I chunk it too much, I A, B, C, whatever it is, right? But to me, it's not that, okay? It's not that you've got a technique problem, it's you've got a tension problem. And I'll prove it to everyone listening, right? You get in the lesson, you hit it beautifully. You get on the range, you're hitting it great. Thursday night with no camera, you're hitting it beautifully. Then you get on the course on a Saturday morning and that slice shows up. And we're going to see it this week in the Ryder Cup. We saw it in the US Open with Adam Scott going from 68 to 80. Do you really think Adam Scott lost his golf swing on Sunday, or the tension increased? So you really can't outdo technique, right? Because technique will always collapse under tension if the tension is high enough. Okay.
Yeah.
So to me I think one of the things for your filming is, golf's a hard enough game, let alone setting it up on the tripod, let alone doing the videos, let alone you're at a public golf course like me, so you're having to move around and stay ahead of the group. So I think that's part of it. But does that kind of make sense?
It does. It does. And I think for me, it's this whole pressure to perform well on camera because of what my channel is all about how in 5 years can a guy that has only been playing golf for a year. Now, granted, I've been around golf since a kid, but I've never taken it seriously until like the last year. But can a guy who only has a year and a half of experience try to qualify for a Korn Ferry Tour event in 5 years? I think objectively, it's probably not going to happen, but it's a pretty lofty goal to push towards. For me, it's like I know what I need to do. Like I know that I need to take something that's going to put me in play off the tee, and I need to get it into the scoring zone, in the respective strokes on whatever par
Yeah.
I'm on, and then I need to get it down. But it's always that subconscious of like, well, if you hit a bad shot, because I'm not like most YouTube golfers where if I hit a bad shot, I just cut it and I redo it and I only show the good stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm putting everything out there on the line. And so
Yeah.
I guess for me, and maybe this could apply to maybe because I have a lot of like, mid to high handicappers watching me as well. And, maybe this could apply to the guy who wants to perform well in front of his buddies, like
Yeah.
everybody else is like, well, I'm taking, it's a par five. I better take driver here,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, he tops it 20 yards or cuts it into the woods 50 yards
Yeah.
right. So I just feel like the scoring method is a great way to stay grounded in the round, and it allows you, it's like you said in the video that introduced me to this whole thing of don't try to make up for a bad shot, just chase another check mark,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Get
Exactly.
it
Yeah.
into the scoring zone, get down in three, and it really simplifies everything.
Well, yeah, and I think what you're saying is exactly right. Is that most, a lot of YouTubers will be like, "Oh, I missed that putt, drag one back." But I think your listeners and your viewers want to see, like, "No, I missed that putt, and then I slice it into the junk, and then I try and lay up with a pitching wedge, and I chunk it, and then
Yeah.
I tried to play safe, and I bladed it into a bunker." We need more of that, right? We need more of real golf, like just 22 handicap, 29 handicap, 16 handicap, just like you're going to have terrible golf shots out there. I'm a golf pro. I went out the other week at Pine Valley, was playing pretty decent, and I made three triples in four holes. So just because I created the scoring method, it does not mean I won't have an air shot in a bunker because on the way down I hit the back of the bunker and miss the ball, and I
Oh,
won't chunk a 9 iron and then a 7 iron and then
yeah.
hit one into a lake. So the
Yeah, yeah.
point being is that we've got to help golfers to understand how to reduce tension, and this is where I talk about player B, right? The second ball pro is like you tee it up and you stripe it down the middle and you're like, "Ah, I know I
Yeah.
can do this." And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
my point. The reason why you're frustrated is you know you can do it on the second shot. So the first shot we're trying, we're really giving our all. On the second shot, we just sort of free ourselves up. We don't worry and we swing, and out comes our natural ability. So as a coach, my belief is the results inside of you. You have the capability. I've got to get it out of you. Now, how do I get it
Yeah.
out of you? I've got two ways of doing that. One is give you a whole ton of information. Make sure your shoulder turn, make sure your left hand is strong, make sure you turn through the ball, make sure your vertical forces are here, make sure you don't do this and do it. Or I can get you out the way.
Mm,
And I think that's an easier way to play. Can I make
that's
you play
huge.
a B, right? So what I would be saying to my players, and I don't know if you're going to cut some of the video from that front nine into this video, but if you go back to that front nine, you say, "Hey man, haven't been hitting it too great yesterday. I've been a bit burnt out, bit tired. I got my video on me." And on the first tee, you take driver, and
Yeah,
you really struggled. So the way to reduce tension is to reduce expectations.
mm,
So if you want to
yeah.
reduce tension, reduce expectations. Hey, I've got to ace this test. I've got to make $185,000 this year versus, okay, if I can just go ahead and, answer each question the best of my ability and let's see what happens, and we'll see what goes. And if I can make a deal today and make $900, and we'll see how it goes. Like, oh, I can do $900, and then
Yeah.
over time, systems build to goals. But what we don't want to do is have these lofty goals which put pressure on us. And so what I
Right.
loved about the video was the first 4 or 5 holes you were all over the place, and then you were like, you know what? I'm just going to take an iron off the tee, and yeah, like I think it was like you went par bogey, par par bogey. Like you had
Yeah.
5 holes entering the scoring, down scoring. So my thing to you and all the listeners would be on the very first hole, you can ruin a round of golf in the first 3 holes. You can't win it.
Mm,
So to me, as I'd be saying, look, I was on the range, I'm going to hit 6 iron. And everyone's like, oh, God, I'm going to hit 6 iron in front of my friends. No, to begin with, you're going to learn how to hit 6 iron off the tee or five hybrid or three wood. And you're going to pop it down there, put it in play, wedge on the green, take the pressure off, because most of the tension is holes one, two, three, right?
yeah.
Then on four, five, and six, we're in a bit of a better rhythm. And then we could get out the hybrid or the three wood or the driver and build into our round. But we're literally like skiers that are going straight to the top of a double black diamond mountain. No one does that. They go, I'll do a couple greens. Oh, a couple blues felt good. Do a little bit of a black. I'm not feeling it today. I think I'll stay on blues. But in golf, we just throw ourselves back there because we're trying to compare ourselves to par, which is insanity. We should be trying to compare ourselves to bogey, which is like,
Yeah.
if I just shot for a bogey, well, I could hit six iron, chip onto the green, two putt, make a bogey. There's the reduction of stress, right? Reduction of tension because we realigned your expectations. So that's really the biggest thing I'd be saying is, the scoring method isn't about hit a six iron off every tee box. Because I've got
Right.
senior golfers and lady golfers that hit it beautifully dead straight. And I'm like, hit driver on every single hole.
Yeah.
But if I've got a guy that can hit 285 everywhere, but a six
Hmm.
iron 185, and he could poke it down the middle, then learn first gear golf first,
Yeah.
and then second gear would be a four hybrid, and then third gear would be a three wood, and then fourth gear would be a driver. And learn in a car, you need different gears for different times in the round. And I think on that round, what you did was you just started up in fourth gear after admitting, yeah, I didn't have a great day yesterday. I'm not feeling great today. And the first three or four holes were disastrous. And then as you got into the rhythm and got the check marks, you played really well.
Yeah, and a lot of times whenever I play courses, I'll get there about an hour, hour and a half early to warm up and stuff. But the course that I play currently, Ashborough Country Club, their range is like closed, and there's really no way to hit driver because it only
Yep.
goes like 200 yards. So it even more so, there's less of a reason to take driver. Like I try to stretch and like swing like two clubs at once to get loose and stuff, but you're not gonna rotate as fully
Yep.
with on the first tee as you
Yeah,
would on
and you
say
haven't felt a ball on the club face. You don't know what the club
exactly.
face feels like. You don't know if it's
Yeah.
pulling today. You don't know if it's pushing or slicing or over.
Yeah.
Nobody does, right?
Yeah.
Now we watch tour players. It's like, oh, well, they hit driver off the first tee because they play every single day of their life, and
Yeah.
that is their go-to club. Their go-to club is, I can hit driver dead straight. I can put it in the fairway 8 out of 10 times. So yeah, I think what it's doing is once you start to say, listen, I love my five hybrid, I love it. I'm going to pop it off the tee, pop it down the fairway, chip on the green, two putt, make a bogey, hit it down the next hole, and you get into a rhythm of being like, okay, I got this. It's not so much that I've got better technique, and this is what I love about the scoring method. When you go into the community, you'll see people like, Will, I've just dropped 10 shots off of my game, and it's my second time out on the golf course. Well, my belief is, no, you were an 84 shooter, but you had a handbrake. You're in the car with a handbrake on, looking in the rearview mirror. So
Hmm.
you get frustrated, play too aggressive, lose golf balls, have three putts, get angry. So I'm not saying I take someone from 94 to 84. They're an 84 shooter with 104 mentality of strategy on a golf
Yeah.
course. So as I teach
Yeah.
them strategy, they start to play to their potential and they start to get these massive drops in score because nobody teaches the double bogey and bogey golfer how to play with what they've got. They're always telling them what you've got isn't good enough and you've got to develop your skill sets. Well, I have golfers that you can watch that I'm coaching that have over the top, completely aim right, over the top move, big pull cuts all over the place that shoot in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
And that's what they want to do. I want to shoot in the mid 80s. I've got a couple kids, or I'm retired. I don't want to play golf 5 days a week. I just want to be able to know where the ball goes, position myself around a golf course, and at least make it enjoyable. And so,
Exactly.
to me, I think we're just sold a little bit too much of like technique is the answer. And yes, you need some skill sets and some techniques, but usually it's how to hit a pitch shot, how to hit a good chip shot, how to go ahead and hit pace putts, how to make short putts, and how to put something in play off of a tee box. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's not tour. It's more like fix my driver.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at Scotty Scheffler, as far as like a mechanical standpoint, he comes over the top, he slides, he does all of
Yeah.
these things that are a swing coach's nightmare, and he's the number one player in the world right now.
Yeah.
And to me, when I think about like the scoring method and what it's all about, like yes, it teaches you how to score, but going back to our conversation, it's all about managing expectations and accepting. And because I actually did another test where I did an 18 hole video instead of doing the
Yep.
two nines, and
Yeah.
I went into that with a much better mental game and better acceptance, but I still scored poorly. But I think what it was I wasn't making good decisions. It was more like I had better emotional control and I didn't let
Yeah.
bad shots get to me. So
Yeah.
even even though I thought I was utilizing the scored method properly, I don't think I was in that video because obviously
Yeah.
I would have shot lower.
Yeah, and maybe for some of the viewers that are just picking up on this now is right. So the scoring method concept is that the system is on a round of golf on a par four, you're meant to get on the green in two. If you're a scratch golfer, do you know what I mean? Which is
Yeah.
one of 1% in America, in the world, right? So what it says is instead of trying to get on the green in regulation, we're just trying to get to a place where we could score in regulation. So we're trying to get inside of 100 yards So the green becomes 100 yards. So if I'm 97 yards away, guess what? I'm in a position to score. And then from there, all we're trying to do is can I get it somewhere on the green, put it up by the hole and tap it in and make a bogey. So if you get
Yeah.
a check mark, you get a check mark for getting past the 100-yard marker in play, and you get a check mark for getting down in three. And so what it does, it takes you away from thinking, oh, is this for a seven or an eight? No, no, that game's done. I didn't get into the scoring zone. X, I didn't get in. Can I get down in three? Yes, I got down in three. Now you head to the next tee box. Got a check mark. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Because most people have blow up holes because they compound the problem. They hit it into the trouble. Instead of just pitching out, pitching down, chip on two putt, making a six, they try and go through the trees. Then they hit it in a bunker. And by the time they get to the green, they're so frustrated. They chip on, who cares, and three putt, make a nine. Well, it could have been an eight if you'd have two putted.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
could have been a seven if you'd have pitched out on the first shot. And it could have been a six. And so it doesn't just affect that hole because very few amateurs that I know can make an eight and walk to the next hole and be like, deep breath and let's just go ahead and hit a good drive. It's, I shouldn't have done that. And they're so frustrated. So they take all that frustration onto the next tee box. Then they make a triple on the next hole or a double. And so usually around a golf, someone will shoot, let's just say a 102. And it's like, oh, but if I hadn't had that four-hole stretch, it could have literally been a 91. Like I went
Yeah.
triple, double, quad, triple. And then you got your rhythm back. So the point is it's not just a blow-up hole is three over or four over or five over par. It stays with you. But if you're playing for check marks, you go, okay, got down in five
Move
on
on.
that one. That sucks. Okay, can I go? The hole's 400 yards. It's a long hole. Can I go 300 yards in two shots? Five hybrid, five hybrid. Yes, I did it. So we're making games that amateur golfers can win. And then the beauty of the scoring method is it starts in first gear and then it becomes more difficult, which is instead of 100 yards, you've got to get within 50 yards. And then third gear is within 25 yards. And then fourth gear is on the green. And so the point is it's worked for every type of golfer. But if you want to achieve a goal, you have to have a system. Right? That's the biggest thing is that most people are like, I want to shoot even par. Well, how are you going to get there? Or I want to break 80 or break 90 or break 100. How are you going to get there? Oh, I'm just going to hope. It's like, no, if I don't make a double bogey, the highest I could shoot is 90. And I would imagine you're going to have at least five pars, six pars, maybe a birdie. Oh, guess what? You just shot 84. And everybody thinks like, no, 84 is hitting the ball well and hitting the greens and two putting and not missing. No, no, it's not having a triple bogey and a quadruple bogey. So it's really helping people put a system in place that amateurs can use to help them get better. And that's why over the past 15 years, we've dropped tens of thousands of strokes off of golfers' games quickly because we're not telling you to change your grip or your alignment or all of this stuff. We're saying stop chipping with a lob wedge and start chipping with a 7-iron or a hybrid and take the big miss out of play because you sculled it over the green instead of bumping a hybrid onto the green 10 feet, missing the putt, tapping it in and making a bogey instead of a double. So it's very much meet the golfer where they're at with what they've got and help them take the next 5 to 10 strokes off of their game. And then at a certain point, it's like, I actually do need to be better with my wedges. Well, then you need to go and get some better skills, get a lesson and go to a pro and say, I specifically need you to teach me how to hit a 50 and 75-yard golf shot. I don't want anything else but that. And then go and work on that skill set. And then that might get another 3 strokes off of it. Or how do I get out of bunkers? Or I'd like some more distance. But for me, the 5 areas I would tell people to work on is number one, lag putting. The most important thing you can do is be able to hit a long putt close to the hole because you can hit a terrible chip and lag it up there, put it in, make a bogey, or hit a 3-wood onto the green, lag it up there, tap it in, make a par. The second thing would be make the short putts. You've got to be able to make the 4-footers, the 3-footers. You can't miss those. The third thing would be from around the green, take loft out. Don't go high. If you have to go for a bunker, you got to go high. But most of the time, you don't have to go high. Keep it low and start to learn how to use your hybrid, your 9-irons, your pitching wedges to sort of run the ball onto the green and keep it low. Next thing you need to know is you have to know how to hit a 25, 50, and 75-yard golf shot. Like everyone knows how to hit 100 pretty much. Like, oh, that's my pitching wedge, or that's my 9-iron, or that's my sand wedge. Great. But it's it's not a full sand wedge or a full pitching wedge. We need that clock system to give you 75, 50, 25. So you have those pitching and then a go-to club. What can you get off the tee and advance down the fairway and advance down the fairway? And those 5 things that you got to work on. So long putting, short putting, chipping around the green with very little loft, making sure you can hit your pitches, and then getting the ball in play. And what I love about this is every year at my dad's club back in the UK, they have the three club game. So you take your hybrid, your straightest club, your favorite iron, a wedge, and a putter. And every year, my dad plays and they do Stapleford. So 36 is to your handicap. He'll get 41 points and win the tournament. He won it last year. This is amazing. And I'm like, and all my players do this. And then the following week, what do? They grab 14 clubs out and then play terrible. And it's like, guys, advance it down the fairway, pitch it onto the green, and two putt and get the heck out of here. And so it's like golf is just not taught particularly well. Swing is, we teach swing great. Here's swing, mechanics, and grip and posture alignment. But no one's teaching score. No one's teaching you
Yeah.
how do I get the ball in the hole when I hit a 40-yard slice on every tee shot.
Yeah.
Well, hit tee on the right-hand side of the tee box, aim way down the left and try and hit dead straight and let it slice back into the middle of the fairway. And that's what you've got for right now. And don't use low loft because you'll have more slice. So use a
Hmm.
5 wood. So that to me is what's missed. And again, what I've been on a mission for now 20 years of doing is help revolutionize golf instruction. How do we get people to get guaranteed lower scores? We stop teaching swing and we start teaching score.
That's so good. Yeah, and I think in closing, one of the biggest things for me that you talk about all the time is training something. So first of all, when you're on the course, you obviously don't want to be thinking about swing thoughts and
Yep.
I got to get my hands here and stuff. And so the scoring method is great at keeping things external and doing a great job of making sure you're out of your own way, right?
Yep.
And so it almost prevents you from having to think about, oh, well, I got to get my hands here whenever I swing and
Yep.
this, that, and the third. But also it provides feedback, right? So
Yep.
if I decide to like keep my ego, not drop it and say, well, I'm going to take driver here, but yet my dispersion is like 80 yards wide and it's always getting me in trouble. In fact, in the video that you saw and in the other video afterwards, that was my issue. It was like, it wasn't
Yep.
really the shots into the green or the chips or anything like that. It was always off the tee. So
Yep.
training something that is giving you grief, be it your chips or
Yep.
off the tee, that's the most important thing when you're on the range.
Well, yeah, and I think, as people go into the winter, because we're heading into the fall for a lot of people, they're going to go indoors. And my biggest thing, Cameron, is like most people think about how can I get it further and close the gap this way in distance. I want you this winter to focus on dispersion. How can I
Mm,
narrow this down? So tour players' dispersion left to right is very narrow,
yeah.
whereas amateurs is extremely wide. So it really comes down to like, yes, if you can get on the range and pick two spots and go right from there to there, it's 20 yards wide. That's tighter than any fairway. Because one of the big things we talk about with the scoring method is play easy, just get it in play, get down the green, chip on, two putt, make a bogey, but train hard. So when you're on the driving range, stop thinking about technique and go, right, I'm going to hit 10 balls with my driver between those two posts. It's 30 yards wide. How many did you get in? Four. Okay, now use your five hybrid. How many? Nine. Okay, well, your go-to club right now is a five hybrid. But
Exactly.
let's use that on the course, but continue to work on your three-wood and driver to see if they could get up to seven or eight. And
Hmm.
so for me is it's not only the way people think on a golf course is poor because they've never been taught it. It's not their fault. They've never been taught course strategy, but then the way they practice is bad because they hit 57 irons in a row and go, I found my golf swing. And I'm like, well, good luck. But the next you can hit a driver, then a lob wedge, then a putt, wait 23 minutes on a tee box while these guys order food on the 10th hole, then hit driver again, then a downhill shot. We're not teaching how to actually play the game. So I think that big part of it is you've got to train hard to play easy. You got to realize that the biggest thing is that you don't have a technique problem, you have a tension problem. And then I think the other key thing that I would say is for most golfers, they think golf is mental, and everyone say, "Oh, it's in between my ears." No, it's not. It's truly this is the biggest thing is people think golf is mental. It's not. It's emotional. So think about this
Yeah.
in a round of golf. What is the most for everybody listening and watching? What is the most common emotion you have when you play golf? This is what I get from 95% of my players: frustration,
Hmm.
anxiety, worry, anger, disappointment. Okay, those aren't thoughts. If I tell you, oh, just don't worry, you made a triple, you don't go, oh, thanks for the insights. That's
Yeah.
really great.
I
You're
feel
you're
better.
steaming mad, right?
Yeah.
So the point is that we have high expectations and then get a lot of frustration. Frustration leads to expectations, which then puts pressure on us, which leads to anxiety, nerves, worry. Okay. So my whole thing is it's not a mental game because if it was a mental game, how is it that VJ Singh when he won 9 times in a season said he played angry golf the entire time? His whole thing was he said,
Mm,
they think I'm going to choke on this shot. They think I'm going to miss this putt. They think I'm going to lose this tournament. That's a seriously negative thought that created I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a very solid, confident emotion. So my challenge to my golfers is, what's the emotional state you're in? And I'm not saying be happy and joyful all day because it's a tough game. But what I'm saying is, if you're feeling anxiety and worry, you're the first ball golfer. The second ball golfer is almost like, oh, who gives up? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly,
who gives a shit? I've already hit
Yeah.
in the junk. And you
Yeah.
rip it down the middle. So, okay, that golfer is more deliberate, less worried, less concerned, less feeling of judgment. So you've got to get out there and almost be like more of the mindset of like, look, I'm just going to go out there and just let it happen. Or, I'm going to go out there and just not stress about it because I expect to hit it badly. I expect to hit it in the tree, So the more real you can be about the game, which is you're going to hit it badly, you're going to miss putts, you're going to mess up. It's going to, you could get frustrated, or you could go, this is the game of golf, you guys. This is what the game of golf is. It's like waking up in the morning and be like, everyone's going to be nice to me. The news is going to be great. My bank account's going to look amazing. My wife's going to be fantastic. My kids are going to be well behaved, and everyone's going to love me, and everyone's going to drive perfectly today. Well, guess what? You're going to have a terrible day because none of that's going to happen, and you're going to get frustrated. Versus, yeah, people cut you off. It's not about you, and people aren't going to show up to meetings, and it's not about you. And so the more realistic you can get about like, golf is difficult. I'm not that good, me included. And I'm just going to go out there and just get myself into a state of just like, look, just, okay, I can hit a 6-iron play, but I'm not sure about a driver. That's a bit nerve wracking. Well, then hit a 6-iron. So the more you can play in that state of, hey, when I'm playing my best golf, I don't think a lot. I trust it. I don't care about the bad shots. I see my shot. But when I play my worst golf, I try really hard. I think a lot. I doubt my golf swing. I'm not sure about my grip, and I don't commit to the golf shots. Okay, so you could go and go on the golf course and practice that and show yourself, well, that was a crappy round of golf on the front nine. And on the back nine, you go, oh, I don't care. And you go out there and play great. And it's like, well, you just showed yourself that when you stop trying so hard, you play better golf. And it's not that you don't care. You do care. You want to play well, but you realize that trying harder in golf doesn't make you a better golfer. It actually makes you a worse golfer. So it's really those points that I think teach people how to strategize, help them with their expectations, teach them how to train. And if you do that, like I said, it's just fun to watch guys go from a 105 to an 87 in a matter of a week or two because they had the 87 in them, and that's why they were frustrated. That's why they reached out and got onto the scoring method.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really good, Will. Well, thank you so much for being on the channel. I greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely, my friend. Yeah, scoringmethod.com, thescoringmethod.com. Just check it out, go to the YouTube channel, The Scoring Method, check out all the videos, see what we've got. But yeah, we have a whole training series, workbooks, scorecards. So the scorecards you take on the golf course with you, just like this one right here, Scoring Method, and you go on the golf course and you fill out the card as you go. And so this is the coach. I tell my players, I'm not your coach. This is your coach. I'm teaching you how to play. So on the golf course, you don't go, I wish my pro was out here. You're like, no, I need to get a check mark, chip it down to there, wedge on and 2-putt and get out of here with a check mark. You know what I mean? So you need something out there to help you. So yeah, check that out, thescoringmethod.com.
Yeah, guys, I'll leave a link down in the description. So, well, thank you again. I really appreciate it. And we'll be in touch.
Absolutely, man. Cameron, real joy being on the show.
Thanks again to Will Robbins for coming on the channel. He's so gracious with his time and provided a lot of great information in that conversation. Now, after the conversation, we chatted, and moving forward, what we're going to do, since I can't seem to break 90 on camera, we're going to commit to implementing level 1 of the scoring method, which is the basic scoring method principle that I've talked about. I've just never actually done it properly. And then from there, we'll scale it up based on the various levels of the scoring method. But we got a lot of cool content coming down the pipeline. We got some future content plans with Will that I'll get into later on. But thank you guys again for watching. And again, thank you so much to Will Robbins for coming on the channel. As always, guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. You can hype this video to share it out to more golfers. You can also subscribe and follow along on this journey to breaking 90 on camera. And until next time, you can check out this video right up here. That is a surefire way to transfer your range game to the course. Thanks for watching. I'll see you over there.